Ambassador Kang Daiho stepped out of the transport ship and looked at the massive structure before him. The Galactic Council building was bigger than anything he had ever seen. It was made of some kind of crystal that glowed with soft blue light. The building reached up into the clouds of Nexus Prime, the capital world of the galaxy. "Amazing," said his assistant, Park Miran, as she walked beside him. "I never thought we would see something like this." Daiho nodded but kept his face calm. He was here to represent all of humanity. Earth had waited 300 years for this moment. First contact with aliens had happened only 5 years ago. Now humans were about to join the Galactic Council. The doors of the building opened without any sound. Inside, the walls were covered with pictures of different alien species. Some looked like giant insects, others looked like walking plants. There were creatures with too many eyes, too many legs, and some that seemed to float in the air. "Welcome, humans," said a voice that seemed to come from everywhere at once. "The council is ready for you." They walked through long hallways filled with alien beings. Most of them were much bigger than humans. Some had skin like metal. Others had fur that changed colors. A few looked almost like humans, but with extra arms or strange colored eyes. Captain Lee Sora watched everything from her ship in orbit. The U's Harmony was Earth's newest and best starship. It carried the most advanced weapons humans had ever built. But compared to the alien ships around Nexus Prime, it looked like a toy. "Captain," said her communications officer, "we're getting signals from over 50 different alien fleets. They all seem friendly. Keep watching," Sora said. "Something feels wrong about this." Back inside the council building, Daiho entered the main chamber. It was a huge round room with seats for hundreds of beings. In the center was a floating platform where he would stand to speak. The council leader was a creature that looked like a giant spider made of silver metal. Its voice was deep and made the air shake when it spoke. "Humans of Earth," the leader said, "today we welcome you to our great alliance. For over 10,000 years, the Galactic Council has brought peace and success to all member species." Daiho stepped onto the platform. He had practiced this speech many times. "Thank you, honored Council. Humanity is excited to join your alliance. We bring new ideas, new technology, and the desire to learn from older, wiser species." The alien beings around the room made different sounds. Some clicked, others hummed, and a few made noises like singing. Daiho hoped these were good sounds. "Your species is young," said another council member. This one looked like a walking tree with glowing fruits hanging from its branches. "But we see great potential in humans. Your people are creative and adapt quickly to new situations. That is why," the spider-like leader continued, "we offer you full membership in our Prosperity Alliance. You will receive our protection, access to our trade routes, and knowledge of technologies that will advance your civilization by thousands of years." Daiho felt his heart beat faster. This was better than Earth's leaders had hoped for. "And what does humanity offer in return?" "Very little," said the leader, and several aliens made sounds that might have been laughter. "Your world has some rare minerals we need, and your people think in ways that are interesting to us. We are always eager to learn new ways of solving problems." The treaty was written on a material that felt warm to touch and glowed when Daiho signed his name. As soon as he finished writing, every alien in the room stood up and made loud celebratory sounds. "Welcome to the galaxy, humans," the leader said. "Our ships will escort you back to Earth to begin the integration process." Dr. Park Minho was in his laboratory on the Harmony when the celebration signals came from the planet. He was studying the alien communication systems they had been given as a gift. The technology was amazing, but something bothered him about it. "Computer, translate this data stream," he said, pointing to a series of signals coming from the alien ships. The computer worked for several minutes. "Translation complete. Warning, content may be disturbing." "Show me," Minho said. The screen filled with text. As Minho read, his face went white with fear. The message was between two alien ship commanders. They were talking about humans the way humans might talk about farm animals. They mentioned harvesting neural patterns and resource extraction efficiency. Worst of all, they talked about other species they had welcomed into the alliance. None of those species existed anymore. Minho's hands shook as he read more. The aliens were not offering friendship. They were setting a trap. Every species that joined the alliance was consumed by it. Their worlds were stripped of all valuable materials. Their people were turned into mindless workers or used for experiments. "Captain Sora," Minho called over the communication system. "We have a problem. A very big problem." But before he could explain, alarms started ringing throughout the ship. On the main screen, hundreds of alien ships were appearing out of hyperspace around Earth. The escorts the Council had promised were not escorts at all. They were an invasion. "Fleet, all human ships," came a broadcast from the alien fleet. "Prepare to be boarded. Resistance will result in the destruction of your world. Welcome to the Galactic Council, humans. Your service begins now." Captain Sora looked at the massive fleet surrounding Earth. There were over 2,000 alien ships. Each one was 10 times bigger than anything humans had built. Earth's entire space navy had only 50 ships, and most of those were exploration vessels, not warships. "Sir," her weapons officer said, "they're powering up their guns. All of them." On Earth, people looked up at the sky and saw lights that had not been there before. News broadcasts tried to explain what was happening, but even the reporters sounded confused and scared. Ambassador Deho was still on Nexus Prime when he learned what was happening to his world. The aliens had not let him leave. Now he understood why. "You lied to us," he said to the council leader. "We told you no lies," the spider creature replied. "We offered protection. Earth will be very protected under our control. We offered technology. Your people will learn to use tools they never imagined. We offered membership in our alliance. Earth will serve the alliance very well." "You're going to destroy us," Deho said. "Destroy? No, we do not destroy useful things. Your people will work for us. Your world will give us its materials. Your minds will share their thoughts with our collective. It is a great honor." Deho felt sick. He thought about his wife and children back on Earth. He thought about all the humans who had celebrated when they learned about joining the galactic community. "Other species have tried to resist," the leader continued. "It never works. We have done this 847 times before. The result is always the same. Accept your new role, human. It will be easier for everyone." But Deho remembered something his military advisors had told him before he left. Earth, they had given him a special communication device for emergencies. The kind of emergency where Earth itself was in danger. He reached into his pocket and pressed a hidden button on the device. It sent out a signal using human technology, not alien systems. The signal would reach every human ship, station, and colony in space. The message was simple. They played us. Initiate protocol blackout. On Earth, in space, and on distant colonies. Humans received the message. They had prepared for this possibility. They had hoped it would never happen, but they were ready. Captain Sora was the first to respond. "All human vessels," she broadcast on emergency frequencies, "execute protocol blackout immediately. This is not a drill." Across human space, lights went out. Communication systems shut down. Ships powered down their engines. Colonies activated. Special shields that made them invisible to alien sensors in less than an hour. Humanity disappeared. The aliens found empty cities and silent space stations. The humans they had come to capture were gone. The resources they had come to steal were hidden. The minds they wanted to study had vanished into the darkness of space. On Nexus Prime, the council leader looked at reports from the invasion fleet. Every single human target had gone dark at exactly the same time. Interesting, the creature said. This has never happened before. Ambassador Deho smiled for the first time since learning the truth. You wanted to study how humans think. You're about to get a very good lesson. Colonel Kim Ji-won was sleeping when the emergency signal reached her ship. The sound of the alarm made her jump out of bed. She had been dreaming about her home on Earth, but now she was wide awake in the cold metal corridors of the deep space research vessel Horizon's Edge. What's happening? She asked as she ran to the bridge. Protocol blackout signal just came in, said her communications officer, Lieutenant Choi Hyun. All frequencies. Every human installation in the galaxy received it at the same time. Ji-won felt her heart sink. Protocol blackout was the worst-case scenario. It meant Earth was under attack and humanity had to disappear completely. They had practiced this many times, but she never thought it would really happen. How long do we have? She asked. According to the protocol, all systems go dark in 15 minutes. Hyun replied. Ji-won pressed a button on her command chair. Her voice echoed through every part of the ship. All crew, this is the Colonel. We just received protocol blackout. This is not a drill. Everyone to emergency stations now. The Horizon's Edge had been exploring the far edge of human space for 2 years. They were looking for new worlds that humans could live on. But the ship had another purpose that most people did not know about. It was also a mobile command center. For humanity's secret backup plan, on Earth, General Yu Taeyong was in his underground command bunker when the signal came. He had been waiting for this moment, hoping it would never come. But when it did, he was ready. Sir, said his aide, Captain Park Yeho, all military units are reporting ready for immediate evacuation. Good, Taeyong said. Begin operation. Ghost Town. I want every human off the surface in 12 hours. For 3 years, ever since first contact with the aliens, Earth's military had been building massive underground cities. They were hidden deep under mountains, under the ocean floor, and in places where alien sensors could not find them. Each city could hold millions of people. The evacuation had been practiced hundreds of times. Every human on Earth knew exactly where to go and what to do. When the siren started, people grabbed their emergency bags and walked quickly to the nearest evacuation point. There was no panic, no running, no screaming. Everyone knew their lives depended on moving fast and staying quiet. Above ground, special machines started working. They made fake heat signatures and fake radio signals. To anyone watching from space, it would look like humans were still in their cities, still doing their normal daily activities. Engineer Choi Moran was on the mining station orbiting Jupiter when the signal reached her. She was in charge of the station's most secret project. For the past year, she had been reverse engineering alien technology that Earth had captured from small alien ships. Miran, called her assistant, Dr. Lee Houn. The fabrication units are ready. Should we start production? Yes, Miran said. Begin making the new engines. We're going to need a lot of them. The alien technology was amazing, but Miran had found ways to make it better. Humans had always been good at taking other people's inventions and improving them. The aliens built their technology to be powerful and impressive. Humans built their technology to be sneaky and hard to find. Miran's team had created something the aliens had never seen before. Human ships that could become completely invisible. Not just to regular sensors, but to every type of detection system the aliens used. Commander Ru Hanyul received the protocol blackout signal while his ship was hidden in an asteroid field near Mars. The Silent Arrow was the first ship equipped with the new stealth technology. It had been testing the system for 6 months. All systems dark, reported his pilot, Lieutenant Nosunhi. We're now completely invisible to any known scanning method. Good, Hanyul said. Take us to Rally Point 7. It's time to see if our ghost fleet really works. The silent arrow moved through space without making any sound or light. Its engines used a new type of power that the aliens could not detect. Even if an alien ship was right next to it, they would never know it was there. Across the solar system, 24 other ships just like the silent arrow were moving to secret meeting points. These were humanity's ghost fleet. Each ship was equipped with weapons that used alien technology, but were built with human improvements. On Earth's moon, Dr. Song Yunho was in the secret Luna base when the evacuation began. She was watching the alien ships arrive around Earth. There were so many of them that they blocked out the stars. "They're scanning the planet," she reported to General Taeyong through a secure communication line, "looking for signs of life." "What are they finding?" the general asked. "Exactly what we want them to find," Yunha smiled. "The fake signals are working perfectly. They think humans are still in all the major cities. But the fake signals were just the first part of the plan. While the aliens were busy scanning empty cities, the real humans were disappearing into hiding places the aliens did not know existed." Admiral No Sunwoo was on the command ship Deep Current when he received word that the evacuation was complete. His ship was hidden in the clouds of Venus, using the planet's thick atmosphere to avoid detection. "Sir," said his navigation officer, "all human ships have reached their assigned hiding spots. The aliens are scanning space, but they're not finding anything." "Perfect," Sunwoo said. "Now we wait and watch. Let them think they've won." The aliens had expected to find human cities full of people to capture. Instead, they found cities that looked full but were actually empty. They had expected to find human ships trying to fight or run away. Instead, they found space that seemed empty of any human presence. Captain Woo Sunwo was on a hidden base built inside a large asteroid. Her job was to monitor alien communications. She listened as the alien commanders talked to each other, trying to understand what had happened to the humans. "They're confused," she reported to her superiors. "They've never seen anything like this before. Usually, when they attack a world, people try to fight or surrender, but we just disappeared." The aliens sent more ships to scan Earth. They sent probes to look for underground bunkers. They used every type of sensor they had. But the humans had been planning for this day for 3 years. Every hiding place was protected by technology. That made it invisible to alien detection. On Nexus Prime, the Council leader was getting reports from the invasion fleet. Every report said the same thing: the humans were gone. "This is impossible," the leader said to its advisors. "A species cannot simply vanish. There must be billions of humans on that planet." "Our sensors show normal city activity," reported the fleet commander. "But when our troops try to capture anyone, they find empty buildings. It's like the humans turned into ghosts." "Send more ships," the leader ordered. "Search every moon, every asteroid, every piece of space dust. The humans are hiding somewhere. Find them." But the humans were not just hiding. They were watching. Every alien ship, every alien communication, every alien plan was being monitored by humans. They could not see. Engineer Choi Mi-ran watched from her hidden station as alien ships flew right past her. The aliens were so close she could see the lights on their hulls, but their sensors showed nothing. As far as they knew, they were flying through empty space. "Phase 1 complete," she reported to the hidden command network. "The aliens think we're gone. Now we can begin Phase 2. General Taeyong was deep underground when he received reports from all the hidden human bases. Every human ship, every human colony, every human settlement had successfully disappeared from alien detection. "They wanted to study how humans think," he said to his staff. "They're about to learn that humans are very good at thinking in ways that surprise their enemies." The aliens controlled Earth's surface, but they did not control Earth. They had captured human cities, but they had not captured any humans. They had won the battle, But they did not understand that the war had not even begun yet. In the darkness of space, in hidden bases, in underground cities, humanity was waiting. They were learning about their enemies. They were building better weapons. They were preparing for the day when they would stop hiding and start hunting. The aliens thought they had won easily. They thought humans were weak and simple. They thought this conquest would be just like all the others. They were very wrong. Intelligence Officer Song Yuna looked at herself in the mirror and saw an alien looking back. The biosuit was perfect. Her skin was now purple and covered with small scales. She had 4 arms instead of 2, and her eyes glowed with a soft green light. Even her own mother would not recognize her. "How do I look?" she asked Dr. Lim Yemen, who had designed the disguise. "Like a perfect Korlan warrior," he replied. "The biosuit will copy their body chemistry. Their sensors will think you are one of them." Yuna nodded and checked her equipment one more time. She was about to do something no human had ever tried before. She was going to walk into the enemy's main data center and steal their secrets. Korlan Data Station was built on a small moon near the edge of Council space. It stored information about every species the Council had ever conquered. If humanity was going to fight back, they needed to know everything about their enemies. Yuna's ship approached the station slowly. It looked like a damaged Korlan patrol vessel asking for help. The station guards let her dock without asking many questions. They were used to ships coming and going. "State your business," said the guard at the entrance. He was a real Korlan, twice as tall as Yuna and covered in thick armor. "Data delivery from Sector 15, Yuna replied in perfect Korlan language. "Priority files about the human situation." The guard checked his computer. The fake records that human hackers had planted showed exactly what Yuna had said. "Go to Level 7, Section C. The data masters are waiting." Yuna walked through the stations, corridors. She passed hundreds of alien workers, but none of them paid attention to her. The disguise was working perfectly. At the data center, massive computers held the secrets of the galaxy. Information about every world the Council had destroyed, every species they had enslaved, every weapon they had built. And most importantly, their weaknesses. Yuna plugged a small device into one of the main computers. The device was smaller than her finger, but it contained technology that could copy entire databases in seconds. Within minutes, she had stolen the Council's most protected secrets. But as she prepared to leave, she discovered something that made her blood run cold. The Council had detailed files about humanity. They knew about human colonies, human technology, even human military plans. But the files were 3 years old. "They've been watching us for years," she whispered to herself. "They knew everything about us before they made contact." Back on her ship, Yuna sent the stolen data to Admiral No Sunwoo using encrypted human communication systems. What she had found changed everything humanity thought about the war. Admiral Sunwoo read the data files in his hidden command center inside an asteroid. The more he read, the angrier he became. The Council had not just planned to betray humanity. They had studied human society for years, looking for the best ways to destroy it. "They know our weaknesses," he said to his staff. "But they don't know our strengths." The files showed that the Council had conquered 847 different species over thousands of years. But every species had fought the same way. They either surrendered quickly or tried to fight a direct war. None of them had ever disappeared completely like humanity had done. "Sir," said Captain Ha Dong-yoon, "the data shows something interesting. The Council species are very good at overwhelming their enemies with superior technology. But they've never fought an enemy that uses stealth and surprise attacks." Sunwoo smiled. "Then it's time to teach them something new. Begin Operation Phantom Strike." Dr. Lim Yemen had been working on new technology in his secret laboratory. He had found a way to make human ships completely invisible to all Council. Sensors, Not just hard to see, but completely undetectable. "The silence protocol is ready," he reported to the military commanders. "Any ship equipped with this technology becomes a ghost. The aliens will never see us coming." The first test came when Captain Wu Sungwa took her ship Shadowblade into Council space. Her mission was simple: destroy an alien supply depot and make it look like an accident. The supply depot was heavily guarded by Council warships. Each ship was 10 times more powerful than anything humans had built. But the guards were watching for enemies they could see. They were not watching for enemies that were invisible. Sungwa's ship flew right between the guard ships. The alien sensors showed nothing. The guards thought they were alone in empty space. They had no idea that a human ship was floating just a few hundred meters away. "Target locked," whispered her weapons officer. "Fire," Sungwa said quietly. The Shadowblade fired a single shot at the supply depot's main reactor. The shot was designed to cause a chain reaction that would look like a system failure. A few seconds later, the entire depot exploded in a ball of fire. The guard ships rushed to help, but there was nothing left to save. The explosion had destroyed everything. The aliens spent hours scanning for enemy ships, but they found nothing. As far as they could tell, the depot had blown up by itself. "Accident investigation complete," reported the alien commander. "Faulty reactor caused the explosion. No enemy activity detected." But it was not an accident. It was the beginning of humanity's invisible war. Over the next few weeks, similar accidents happened across Council space. Supply stations exploded. Communication relays stopped working. Transport ships disappeared without any distress signals. The Council began to worry. They had never seen so many system failures happening at the same time. Some of their leaders started to think that their technology was breaking down. Commander Ru Hanyul led a different kind of mission. Instead of destroying alien facilities, his job was to capture them. His team of specialists used advanced neural disruption weapons that could knock out entire alien crews without hurting them. "Remember," he told his team as they prepared to board an alien research ship, "we need them alive. Dead aliens can't tell us their secrets." The silent arrow attached to the alien ship like a parasite. Hanyul's team cut through the hull using tools that made no sound. They moved through the ship's corridors like ghosts, stunning every alien they found. Within 20 minutes, they had captured the entire crew and all the ship's data. The aliens never even knew they were under attack until they woke up hours later on an empty ship with all their computers wiped clean. The psychological warfare was working better than anyone had expected. Council worlds began receiving mysterious messages that simply said, "Humans remember." The messages appeared on their most secure communication systems. They showed up on military computers, government networks, even on personal devices. The aliens could not understand how humans were getting past their security. Their best computer experts tried to track the source of the messages, but they always led to dead ends. It was like the messages were coming from ghosts. Professor Beek Soyoung was monitoring alien communications from her hidden base. She listened as council leaders argued about what to do. Some wanted to send more ships to hunt for humans. Others wanted to abandon council space entirely. "They're starting to panic," she reported. "Their confidence is breaking down. They've never faced an enemy they can't see." The panic got worse when alien colonies started finding their defense satellites had been disabled overnight. The satellites were not destroyed. They were simply turned off, with their control systems completely erased. In the morning, the colonies woke up to find themselves defenseless. But the most frightening thing for the aliens was that they never saw their attackers. Human ships would appear just long enough to deliver a message or disable a system, then vanish again. The aliens began to think that humans had technology far beyond anything they had ever seen. Captain Lee Sora, still hiding near Earth, watched as alien ships became more and more nervous. The invasion fleet that had seemed so confident a few weeks ago was now jumping at shadows. Every false sensor reading made them think humans were attacking. "Sir," reported her communications officer, "we're intercepting alien transmissions. They're asking for reinforcements. They think humans have a massive invisible fleet." Sora smiled. "Good, let them think that. The more scared they are, the more mistakes they'll make." The truth was that humanity only had about 50 ships involved in the attacks, but by using stealth technology and careful timing, they made it seem like there were hundreds of human ships operating throughout Council space. The aliens were being hunted by an enemy they could not see, could not track, and could not fight. For the first time in thousands of years, the Council was afraid, and in the darkness between the stars, humanity was just getting started. Strategist Oh Min-kyung stood in front of a massive holographic display showing the entire galaxy. Red dots marked Council worlds. Blue dots showed where human ships had attacked. Yellow dots indicated alien fleets that were searching for humans they could not find. "The aliens are making exactly the mistakes we predicted they would make," she said to the Hidden Command Council. The council was made up of Earth's top military leaders, all meeting in a secret base buried deep under the Pacific Ocean. "Explain," sighed General Yu Tae-young, leaning forward in his chair. Min-kyung touched the display, and it zoomed in on a council world. "The aliens have been the strongest species in the galaxy for so long that they forgot how to deal with a real threat. They only know how to use overwhelming force against enemies they can see and fight directly." She pointed to another area of the map. "But humans learned different kinds of warfare. We learned to hide, to trick our enemies, to attack when they don't expect it. These are things the aliens never learned because they never needed to." "So what's our next move?" asked Admiral No Sunwoo. Min-kyung smiled. "We show them the truth. We show them that humanity has been living right under their noses for months, and they never even knew it." Captain Ha Dong-yoon received his orders, while his ship was hidden in the asteroid belt of a council world. His mission was the most dangerous one humans had ever attempted. He was going to appear in the heart of enemy space and deliver a message that would change everything. "Are you sure about this?" asked his second-in-command, Lieutenant Kim Soo-yoon. "Once we decloak, every alien ship in the system will try to destroy us." "That's exactly what we want," Dong-yoon replied. "It's time to let them see us." At exactly the same time across 12 different star systems, human ships began to appear. Not just one or two ships, but massive fleets that had been hiding in plain sight for months. The aliens suddenly realized that humans had been living in their space, watching them, studying them. On the council homeworld of Nexus Prime, alarms started ringing as hundreds of human ships materialized around the planet. The alien defense forces scrambled to respond, but they were completely shocked. How had so many enemy ships gotten so close without being detected? "This is impossible," said the council leader, its metallic voice shaking with fear. "Our sensors show nothing, then suddenly there are human fleets everywhere. How long have they been there?" The answer came in a transmission from Captain Ha Dong-yoon. His face appeared on every alien communication screen in the system. "People of the council," he said calmly, "we have been here for quite some time. In fact, we've been living in your space for months. In your asteroid fields, in your outer planets, even in the moons orbiting your worlds. You never saw us because you weren't looking for us." Professor Baek So-young was on one of the ships that had just revealed itself near a major council military base. She watched as alien commanders tried to understand what was happening. "Sir," an alien officer reported to his commander, "we're detecting human settlements on asteroids throughout our system. Our computers show they've been there for over 6 months." "6 months?" the commander shouted. "How is that possible? We scan this system every day." "The humans were using our own sensor blind spots against us," the officer replied. "They hid in places where our sensors naturally don't look very carefully. They studied our scanning patterns and found ways to avoid them. Beak Soyoung activated. Her communication system. This is Professor Beak Soyoung of the Human Science Vessel Discovery. We've been listening to your communications for quite some time. We know about your patrol schedules, your supply routes, your military plans. We know everything because you never thought to look for us. On Earth, Ambassador Kang Daeho was still being held prisoner by the Council. But now he was watching the alien leaders panic as reports came in from across their empire. You told us that 847 species had tried to resist you, Daeho said to the Council leader. But did any of those species ever make themselves invisible and study you for months before fighting back? The leader's metallic body was shaking. This is not possible. No species has technology advanced enough to hide from our sensors. You're right, Daeho replied. No species had that technology before. But humans do now. We took your technology and made it better. We studied how your sensors work and found ways to fool them. While you were looking for us with your eyes, we were hiding right behind your backs. Captain Park Young-jae was commanding one of the fleets that had appeared near a Council industrial world. His ships were surrounding alien factories that had been producing weapons for thousands of years. Attention Council facilities, he broadcast. You are now under human observation. We have been watching your production schedules for months. We know exactly what you build, how much you build, and where you send it. The aliens tried to scan the human ships to understand their technology. But the scans showed readings that made no sense. The human ships seemed to be using Council technology, but it was different somehow. Better. Dr. Park Min-ho appeared on communication screens throughout Council space. He was broadcasting from the ship that had been studying alien technology since the beginning. Council species, he said. You have been wondering how humans disappeared so completely, and how we suddenly have technology that can hide from your sensors. The answer is simple. We've been using your own technology against you. He held up a piece of alien equipment. This is a Council stealth generator. Very advanced. But human engineers found 17 ways to improve it. We made it smaller, more efficient, and completely undetectable by your scanning methods. The revelation was devastating to alien morale. The Council had believed their technology was the most advanced in the galaxy. They had conquered hundreds of worlds using their superior machines and weapons. But humans had taken that same technology and made it better in just a few months. How? Asked a Council scientist in a transmission to the human ships. How did you improve our technology so quickly? Engineer Choi Moran answered from her hidden research station. Because human minds work differently than yours. You build technology to be impressive and powerful. Humans build technology to solve problems. When the problem was hiding from you, we found ways to hide. When the problem was studying you without being seen, we found ways to watch you. The psychological impact was enormous. The aliens had spent months searching for humans, believing they were hunting down a weak and primitive species. Instead, they discovered that humans had been hunting them the entire time. Commander Ru Hanyul's voice echoed through Council communication networks. Every supply convoy you sent, we watched. Every patrol route you used, we mapped. Every military meeting you held, we listened to. You thought you were the hunters, but you were actually the prey. The most shocking revelation came when humans began showing video recordings of alien activities. They had videos of Council leaders making secret plans. They had recordings of alien military exercises. They had files showing exactly how the Council had destroyed other species. We know everything about you, said Admiral No Sun-woo in a galaxy-wide broadcast. We know your weaknesses, your fears, your military capabilities. We know because we've been studying you like you thought. You were studying us. On Nexus Prime, the Council leader realized the horrible truth. Humanity had never been the victim in this situation. From the moment humans first made contact with the Council, they had been setting a trap. The diplomatic mission, the leader said to Ambassador Deho. You knew we were going to betray you, Deho nodded. Earth's intelligence services intercepted your communications about us 2 years before we made official contact. We knew you planned to conquer us. So we decided to let you think you had won while we prepared our real response. Your entire species planned this deception. Every human government, every human military force, every human colony worked together to create the greatest magic trick in galactic history, Deho replied. We made an entire species disappear, then reappear exactly where and when we wanted. 2. The revelation spread panic throughout Council space. The species that had seemed weak and primitive had actually been playing a game that was far more complex than anything the Council had ever seen. And now, with human fleets visible throughout their empire, the aliens realized they were no longer the predators. They had become the prey. Fleet Admiral Jang Hinwoo stood on the bridge of the massive starship Retribution and looked out at the largest human fleet in history. Over 3,000 ships surrounded the Council's home system of Nexus Prime. Each ship was equipped with weapons that combined alien technology with human improvements. Sir, reported his communications officer, all human fleets across the galaxy are in position. Every major Council world is now surrounded. Hinwoo nodded. Today would be the day that decided the future of the galaxy. After months of hiding and planning, humanity was ready to show their true strength. Around Nexus Prime, alien defense ships tried to form battle lines, but they were greatly outnumbered. The Council had never imagined that humans could build such a massive fleet while staying hidden. How many ships do they have? Asked the Council leader, its metallic voice filled with fear. Over 3,000. In this system alone, replied the alien fleet commander. And our scouts report similar human fleets around every major Council world. They must have been building ships in secret for years. The leader's worst fears were coming true. Humanity had not just survived the Council's attack. They had used the time to prepare for war on a scale the galaxy had never seen. On the planet below, millions of alien civilians looked up at the sky. The human ships were so numerous that they blocked out the stars. Many aliens had never seen a human before, but now they knew humanity was real, and humanity was angry. Captain Park Young-jae commanded one of the human battle groups. His ships had weapons that could destroy entire planets. But that was not why they were here. Humanity had learned something important from studying the Council's history. Sir, said his weapons officer, all systems are charged and ready to fire. Hold position, Young-jae replied. We're not here to destroy. We're here to deliver a message. Across the galaxy, other Council worlds were experiencing the same shock. Human fleets had appeared everywhere at once. The aliens realized that humanity had built a military force larger than anything the Council had ever assembled. On the world of Corvana, alien leaders watched in terror as human ships filled the sky. The humans had appeared without warning, just like they had done everywhere else. Please, transmitted the Corvana planetary governor to the human fleet. We surrender. Tell us what you want. But the humans did not respond to surrender offers. They simply waited in space, their weapons pointed at the planet below. Back at Nexus Prime, the Council leader tried desperately to communicate with the human fleet. We wish to negotiate, it transmitted. We can offer you technology, resources, entire star systems. Please tell us what you want. Still, the humans remained silent. Their ships hung in space like metal storms, beautiful and terrifying at the same time. Finally, Ambassador Kang Daeho's face appeared on every screen in the Council chambers. He looked older than when he had first arrived, but his eyes were hard with determination. Honored Council, he said, his voice calm but cold, you asked what humanity wants. The answer is simple. We want you to experience what you have given to 847 other species. We can give you anything, the leader pleaded. Planets, technology, slaves from other worlds. Name your price. You still don't understand, Deho replied. You think this is about what you can give us. But this was never about taking things from you. This is about justice. On Earth, General Yu Taeyong watched the confrontation from his underground command center. His planet was finally free of alien occupation. The Council forces that had invaded Earth were now trapped on the surface while human ships controlled the space around the planet. Sir, reported his aide, the alien ground forces are requesting permission to evacuate. They say they will leave Earth immediately if we let them go. Tell them to wait, Taeyong replied. They'll get their answer soon enough. Above Nexus Prime, Admiral Zhang Hinwu received a signal from Earth Command. It was time for the final phase of humanity's plan. All ships, he broadcast to his massive fleet. Power up main weapons. The human ships began to glow with energy. Each vessel carried enough firepower to level entire cities. The combined fleet could destroy every major Council world within. Hours. The aliens watched in horror as human weapons charged to full power. Council leaders sent desperate messages offering anything they could think of. They promised to leave human space forever. They offered to become servants of humanity. Some even begged humans to enslave them rather than destroy them. But humanity had learned from the Council's own history. They knew that showing mercy to predators only gave them time to plan revenge. Commander Park Yung-jae was the first to speak. His voice was broadcast across all Council worlds simultaneously. People of the Galactic Council, he said, for thousands of years, you have been the monsters that children fear in the dark. You have destroyed 847 different species. You have turned entire civilizations into slaves. You have murdered billions of innocent beings. He paused, letting his words sink. Today, you learn what it feels like to be the prey instead of the predator. The human weapons reached full charge. Energy readings from the human fleet were so high that they overloaded alien sensors. The Council had never seen weapons this powerful. But instead of firing, Admiral Zhang Hinwu did something unexpected. He opened a communication channel to every alien world, every alien ship, every alien being in Council space. Citizens of the Council, his voice echoed across the galaxy, humanity offers you a choice. You can continue to follow leaders who have built their empire on murder and slavery, or you can choose a different path. Director Kim Soo-yoon, broadcasting from the Hidden Human Command Center, continued the message. We know that many of you never wanted to hurt innocent species. We know that some of you were forced to serve the Council against your will. We know that not all of you are monsters. The message was creating panic among Council leaders, but hope among ordinary aliens. Many species had been conquered by the Council and forced to serve in their military. For the first time in centuries, they were hearing someone offer them freedom. However, Admiral Zhang Hinwu continued, those who choose to continue the Council's path of destruction will face the consequences. Humanity has studied your methods. We know how to be just as ruthless as you have been. The threat was clear. Humanity had the power to destroy the Council completely. But they were offering mercy to those who deserved it. That then came the moment that would be remembered throughout galactic history. Captain Shin Soman stepped forward on the bridge of the New Dawn. She had been chosen to deliver humanity's final message to the Council. Her voice would carry the words that would change the galaxy forever. Council leadership, she said, her voice cutting through the silence of space. You wanted to study how humans think. You wanted to understand what makes us different from other species. Today, you get your final lesson. She looked directly into the camera, her eyes hard as steel. When humans are betrayed, when humans are threatened, when humans are pushed too far, we don't just fight back. We make sure the threat can never hurt anyone else ever again. The pause seemed to last forever. You have 72 hours to evacuate. All human space. Any council ship or station found in our territory after that time will be considered salvage. Any council leader who continues to threaten innocent species will be hunted down. Then came the single word that would echo through the galaxy for generations. Run. The effect was immediate and devastating. Across council space, alien fleets began fleeing as fast as their ships could carry them. Panic spread through their empire as species that had never known fear suddenly understood what terror felt like. Some council worlds surrendered immediately. Others tried to negotiate, but most simply ran, just as humanity had commanded. The word "run" became humanity's signature across the galaxy. It was transmitted in every alien language, painted on derelict council stations, and whispered in the Quiji. Dark by species that had finally found hope. The hunters had become the hunted. The predators had become the prey. And in the depths of space, alien children learned to fear the dark, because somewhere in the shadows humanity was watching. Humanity always remembered everything.